part of Odisha, Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh. So let's start with that because recently there was a Naxal attack in Jharkhand. So let's begin by that. You know, this is not a recent incident. Things are really happening frequently and this is a cause of major concern.
Things are very bad in these Naxal affected areas. In the last month, I think in the month of May, about 30 people died because of the attack, because of this attack. We lost our Congress president, Mr. Nandkumar Patel, and one of the veteran leader, Mr. of Tribals, Mr. Mahendra Karma, and one former MLA, Mr. Uday Mudaliar, and veteran leader.
I mean, all these frontline leaders of the state.
V.C. Shukla,
yes.
A veteran leader of the country. We had to lose them because of this Naxal attack. And therefore, yesterday I was in that Pakur district of Jharkhand. And just yesterday it was shocking to hear that SP of that Pakur district has been ambushed and about 4 people have been killed by these Naxals. It's a very serious issue. You know, people, especially the so-called civil society, should talk about this.
But what is being done? Because I mean, the number of attacks which are happening in a very frequent period, something should be done. And of course, we'll talk about all the strategy which should be formed. What is your take on that?
Well, it's a serious issue. It's not just confined to a couple of districts. People who are in public life, they say it is between Pashupati and Tirupati. And people who are actually involved in this, they say it is Red Corridor. It starts from Kathmandu to almost Karnataka. Almost about 230 districts have been affected by this Naxal menace. And some of the districts are absolutely under the control of Naxals. You know, we have to tackle it in a very.
But there is already a plan in place, so to say, integrated action plan. But how it is being accelerated and really acted upon?
It's not just an issue which has come up recently. Even prior to the independence, this issue was there, and somehow, somewhere we have failed in tackling this issue. And it is not just a socio-economic issue that has given rise to this. And the way they recruit members for the Naxal movement, it's shocking. It is shocking. Somebody should interfere and stop all these things. Innocent people are suffering there.
You know, recently the pattern which is being talked about, that it is happening in daylight area. We also hear that there were female Maoists attached now. So are these patterns being read into and something is being done strategically also on that?
Well, you see, tribals are the most innocent human beings on this earth, and they have been exploited there. It's a very unfortunate thing. These tribals have been caught in the crossfire of police and Naxals. Naxals feels that they are police informers. Police feel that they are Naxals. And in some part of the country, Naxals give a kind of fatwa in those forest areas and make each family to, just give up one member for their movement.
You know, as a Congress leader, and of course you feel, because so many of your senior colleagues you've lost, when you go to such areas, what exactly now do you find, especially post this attack in Chhattisgarh on the senior Congress leaders, how specifically the strategy is being kind of worked out on, so that now that you're going to elections also, things are kind of...
Well, during the elections, prior to the general elections, normally they raise their activities in these areas to create a kind of fear. But in the last election, 2009, they had given a call for a boycott of elections. But earlier in 2004, the percentage of voting was almost 40%. The last election, it was 80%. It was shocking how that percentage has risen from 40 to 80, despite the call by Naxals to boycott the elections. And strategy-wise, we should deal with them very firmly, or else the people who are in the mainland are not the losers, and the tribals are the people who are losing everything.
Yeah, especially in a place like Odisha, and what we understand here, that, or in other places also, mining is something that is troubling, let's say.
Yes, it is, of course, they live in forest areas. Their rights should be protected. And if there is any mining, there should be equity for these tribals.
So what is the coordination between this tribal affairs ministry, let's say, and who is also actively involved? The party is there, the government is there as such.
You see, mining area is confined to few pockets. But there are places, where there is no access. Ambuj Mad in Narayanpur. Nobody can go there. And there are places even in Bijapur, in Sukma, in your Dhumka, all these places, Pakur, all these places in Jharkhand, Odisha, Palamu, all these places are highly affected by Naxal movements. And sometimes they claim that almost about 4,000 square kilometers of free zone. That is something unheard of. And you have to tackle it in a different way.
But as you're saying that, let's look at the plan, for example, the kind of fund it was supposed to be, getting, the kind of action plan that could have been worked upon. How satisfied, or how much do you think you would demand, let's say, even on this platform?
Well, you see, I'm not satisfied with the way things are happening in these three states. If there is a will, definitely we can tackle it. Because in Andhra, right from Chennareddy's days to Rajshekar Reddy, successfully they tackled this. And there are no Naxal activities in Andhra Pradesh. They moved out of Naxal, Andhra Pradesh. So it is, if there is a will, definitely you can tackle it. Most of the casualties are congressmen. Because other political organizations, they are working, they are untouched. Ideologically they are in loggerheads.
Why do you think it's happening? You're saying it right now.
Yes, yes. Ideologically they are in the loggerheads. But in this, on the ground, I think it's a strange combination there. Nothing is happening to them, but only congressman has been attacked. It's something, unbelievable. But our Congress members, with all their might and commitment to the nation, they are still working there. Everybody should appreciate that.
So you're hopeful that, things will kind of improve in the coming days?
It is not just it's issue of the Congress. It's a question of, the Naxal movement, the Naxalites, they doesn't believe in the constitution of this country. They doesn't believe in democracy. The people who believe in democracy and the constitution and this nation, they have to put their heads together and come out with some solution.
Okay. So there are so many things and issues, of course, which are still left to be talked to Mr. Hariprasad, but we are right now going for a very short break. We'll come back shortly. Don't go away. States Odisha, and politically speaking, you're now going to the elections. How satisfied are you with the local leadership there?
Well, Odisha Congress has got a base there. And we have some of the veteran leaders in Odisha also. And it's too long a period for the incumbent chief minister there. And I think this time Congress should make it.
Why this confidence?
Well, because we have seen for a long time, we thought that something is happening there for the people of Orissa, but the gap between the poor and the rich has grown.
With some parties, maybe people generally don't understand what exactly is the stance, and the party, one of them is BJD, for which we don't see very strong reactions. So it's a very strange combination.
Not at all. Whereas we oppose him, there is no doubt about that. It is a fight between a triangle fight. It is the Congress who is opposing BJP and BJD. We are equally opposing BJD as we are opposing BJP. It is the Congress who has got a base. And BJD is what? It is the legacy of Biju Patnaik that he is carrying. And whereas BJP ideologically and politically we are opposing them there.
But how would you look at Naveen Patnaik and the men that he has created there, and also feels very hopeful
it's another kind of a myth which was created like they have created in Gujarat. It's a myth, that's all. He's also been there for the third time, he's also been there the third time, but when it comes to the realities, at least it should go by the social index. You will find where is Orissa and where is Gujarat.
Especially the kind of controversy it has now got into. In terms of the scams also that we keep hearing, whether it's chit fund, whether mining related.
Chit fund is one of the biggest scams. One of the biggest scam of the century, and if properly probed, a lot of leaders of Orissa will go behind bars. Even the mining. The huge mining scam is there if it is properly investigated.
Why do you think it's not getting?
There is a lot of similarity between Karnataka and Orissa. The state, a lot of similarities are there. And where in Karnataka, the court has sent the chief minister, half a dozen ministers into jail. And same thing, if proper investigation is done here, and a lot of people will go behind bars.
Since you mentioned,
Whereas mining is an old business in Orissa. Recently, it has been started in Karnataka. But it's got exposed, and these things are not being exposed, that's all.
Why don't we see much representation of Orissa leaders at the cabinet level?
Well, we have one, Mr. Shrikant Jana is in the cabinet, and of course, politically it is the Congress High Command which decides. Strategically also they decide, and fair representation was given.
Any particular strategy that you are working on in terms of Orissa?
Well, we have recently appointed a new PCC chief there, and new PCC chief is a very active Congress worker. He's been working for a long time, and he knows Orissa pretty well. I think he would be able to do it pretty well, because he is the man who is attacking Naveen Patnaik directly, and I think he should make it.
You briefly mentioned Karnataka, so I must also bring in Mr. Yedurappa, if at all, which is being talked about, he comes and again joins BJP. How do you see Karnataka's politics getting?
By default, BJP had won. By default, because of some of the, political tricks of JDS, boomeranged. Or else, Karnataka is not a state for communal parties. It's always been secular and nationalist state. And very unfortunate, for 5 years, people of Karnataka, had to face a lot of problems. That's how they showed the door for both Janata Dal and BJP. And Yedurappa going back to BJP doesn't make any difference at all. They said it's the party of difference. A lot of differences are there among themselves. And they were telling about the Modi model, and it has absolutely failed. And wherever he went around Karnataka, they lost miserably, especially in that so-called Hindutva belt of coastal, and they dumped them in the Arabian Sea.
Talking about Mr. Modi and his rise, which has also led to a lot of fissures within their own party, how would you look at this whole atmosphere?
It is a storm in the teacup, nothing beyond that. That man comes from the hub of the corporate sector, and they back him. And naturally he wants to create some image for himself, which he doesn't deserve, for what has happened in 2002 in Gujarat. Who is taking responsibility for that massacre? They say that he is innocent. Then who is responsible for that massacre of 3,000 people? And we are not getting any answer from anybody.
These are the questions which remain.
That question will remain forever. That kind of, it's a dark days of the history. And that's how I said it's a storm in the teacup.
Let's look at other states. Of course, we touched Jharkhand, but Chhattisgarh. What is the strategy in terms of going politically there?
Chhattisgarh, basically, Madhya Pradesh, when we in a united, undivided Madhya Pradesh, it was Chhattisgarh which was getting seats for Congress. Unfortunately, we lost in 2004, and the gap is very, very minimum. We are short of 5,000 votes, and gap is 1%. And definitely this time we will improve, because the law and order issue, and the safety of women and children, and the safety of the tribal children and the tribal women is something horrifying. The Kanker incident, Jallianwala incident, where about 40 tribal children were molested for almost 2 years. Thanks to that DC, whoever was there, she exposed that. There is a lot of cases like that. If a proper investigation is conducted by a high court
judge. The present leadership says that a lot of work has been done, and that's what he hopes that he'll build on.
In Bastar region, the government is there only on the national highway. You can't just enter 1 kilometer from the national highway, because fully land mines are there. In North Chhattisgarh, that is Sarguja and Bastar, it is out of control of this government. And the law and order situation in the main cities like Raipur, Bilaspur, it is worst. The daylight robberies and women molestation, it's terrible.
As you have said as a party that you're not at all, hesitated or reluctant now to go ahead and still face the people very strongly, even after this sad incident which happened. So what exactly is the plan for elections?
Well, I think today Congress party is starting Kalash Yatra from tomorrow from Rajim, that is where it's the birthplace of V.C. Shuklaji. And we start this yatra from all the corners, 4 corners of Chhattisgarh. And we have different strategy for the coming elections. And people are fed up with the Chhattisgarh government because...
You're not deterred at all?
No, not at all, because he has failed to protect the life and property of the people. Ultimately, that's the fundamental responsibility of any government for that matter, not only Chhattisgarh, any government for that matter. They have to protect the life and property of the people. If they are not safe, who else can be this? Who else can be safe? So I have travelled widely in Bastar and Sarguja, and condition of the tribals are very, very sad.
So that's what specifically you want to work on?
Of course, and we gave prize for it. And Nand Kumar Patel, who was determined to work in Bastar, he had to pay a high price.
That's something very sad, of course, and our heart goes out to all the families also who are still dealing with the grief. But you are watching The Quest now, and we are talking to Mr. B.K. Hariprasad. We are taking a short break once again. Don't go away. Mr. Party as a whole, looking at the shift, that is much talked about shift, how do you look at this year-long organization getting into a new mode? We are having meetings in the party, young leaders are coming up. How do you look at this whole shift which is being seen as a great change?
It's a perennial process. Congress always involves young faces with the experienced leaders. It's not a new thing. Right from Indiraji, whatever we have seen in our lifetime, Indiraji, when she came as a youth Congress leader. Rajiv ji, we have worked under him. We have seen Madam Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi ji coming and bringing some of the youngsters into political scene. It's not a new thing, and Rahul Gandhi's emergence has brought a lot of hopes among the youths of this country, especially, we have come from student and youth organizations.
That's what I want to now ask you personally also, that your entry into politics and the ideals you had when you joined the party.
Well, my ideal was Indira Gandhi, and when she nationalized these banks and abolished this Parvi purse, we thought that she would, we thought that she's doing something, and we joined her. And the other thing, the reason for us to join politics, when people, South Indians were beaten up in Bombay and chased out of Bombay from some political organization, we thought that we should protest that. And we came out of the college and started protesting about those organizations.
So for you, politics was the obvious career that you chose?
It's not a kind of a career. We wanted to fight against the injustice. And Indiraji not only abolished Parvi purse and nationalization of bank, the Land Reforms Act, brought a lot of relief to the poor people in Karnataka, where landless people and the tillers of the land became the owners. And that's how the face of Karnataka got changed. And that's what I was just mentioning in some of our interviews. Compare Karnataka with any other state, the kind of development what we have done in 30-35 years. I think there is no match for it. There is no match for it. If the man who says that, who wants to fight election on the developmental plan, we have not taken any rejected project from West Bengal and established in Gujarat and say it's all development. He has given 9,000 crore rupees to that company to open that factory. But take the example of Karnataka. It's a hub of public sector. It is a capital of information technology of the country. And they should learn what development means. It is not Gujarat.
So Karnataka is a big lesson also in terms of course, a victory, but a model that you would really like to take
victory and losing is different. If they really talk of development, they should learn lessons from, Pune, Pimpri, Chinchwada, Bangalore for information and technology, Hyderabad for information technology. I can name the cities.
And the Congress party is very much also Gurgaon. Now getting an IT-savvy party.
No, not only that. Gurgaon. We have created an international city today. And let that man who claims that he is for the development, let him say he has developed one thing in Gujarat. I can tell you proudly, in Karnataka we have a hospital in every district. Can you claim for that? We have engineering colleges in every district, not 1, 10.
Much will be seen in the coming times.
Yes, no.
So, but you're using also social media and this whole
marketing will not lead us.
IT revolution that you're talking about. Also as a party, formula and strategy. You're seriously working on that also.
Because it is Rajiv Gandhi's contribution to this country, the IT technology and the tele-technology. And he thinks that, we know the comments made by BJP's tall leader about the information technology, and now they are depending on that. For us, it's not a new thing. We brought in this, and we are utilizing it to the maximum health.
You're somebody, and personally knowing you, one thinks that you are very much for an organization which is, one would say, cleaner. You've talked about it in some of your interviews you have said, and also in an atmosphere where corruption is a big issue and a major concern. So how do you look at now parties going to elections, and your party particularly going ahead?
Well, you see, with all kind of disinformation, the campaign against the Congress party, still I am proud of my party, which is corrupt-free party. Whenever we found there is any charges on corruption on any leaders, we have not cared for whether he is a small or a big leader. We have just relieved him from the party. And there are no instances in any other political parties the way we have taken action. Of course, we are in public life, people commit mistakes, but mistakes cannot be, justified.
Or covered up.
Or covered up. They should, if they commit mistake in public life, they should pay the price for it, and we have done that. And BJP cannot claim for that. I can name people in Madhya Pradesh, in Gujarat, in Chhattisgarh. Of course, there is a lot of instances in Karnataka. A lot of people are involved. Overnight, what they have done, nobody could do it in the past 60 years. Normally the slogan of BJP, what Congress has not done in 60 years, they have done in 5 years. Yes, they have done in 5 years. That is only corruption. And
I would like to come back to Jharkhand quickly, because it is very much in news, and what we are reading is of a possible government formation there.
Well, the discussion is on. It's in the final stages, and we will give a final touch to that. Hope so. People should get a good
Are
government.
You very hopeful in terms of giving us some positive indications?
We are hopeful, but we need somebody who can, protect the interests of the tribals there, and tribals and the poor people.
How soon do you think we'll listen to the announcement?
We are on the job, and we are giving the final touches. I think any moment we can see some good news for people of Jharkhand.
You are going to have a tie-up with JMM?
Well, you see, JMM is supporting us in President's election. They have supported us in some of the crucial bills. They have supported us. They are not our opponents, but they have been supporting us. We don't mind like-minded people. If they want to do something good, we don't mind supporting them.
Looking at your own quest as a leader, how would you look at your entry into the party, as you said, about the background, and now, the whole journey that you've undertaken, being in this party as a leader here?
It's too long a journey for me, 39 years. It's not a small thing. But it's a good thing, good experience. Once you are in public life and political party like Congress, you will know that it's a big family, right from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Kutch to Koima. You go anywhere, you get members from my party. I'm so happy and thrilled to meet everybody and talk to them and know their life.
But you see, as I'm trying to also ask you, this whole churning that the party is going through, and I mean a party which is trying to be more modern, aggressive, affirmative. So this whole shift that we're talking about.
Of course, Congress always is affirmative. Whenever, we try to bring a progressive thing in the party or in the nation, a lot of people who oppose it. People oppose nationalization, people oppose abolition of Parvi Pers, people oppose information technology, everything. Whenever we come across some of the major issues, people will oppose it. But we know what is best for the people of country, that we have given, Congress has given.
Two important elements on which, of course, the party of the government is looking at: land and food.
Yeah,
and food, of course, bill is something which is being looked at.
It is a major issue.
So how are you looking at pushing it ahead? I mean,
well, we are trying. That's how, that was the first step for us to talk to JMM, to garner support for the food bill. And let us see how it works out. And we expect the support from all corners, because ultimately it is the poor people of this country who will be benefited.
And what's the roadmap for you, Mr. B.K. Hariprasad, as we are now wrapping up the show?
Well, as long as Congress Party bless me, I'm there and committed to Congress Party's ideology of secularism and the development also of the common man.
So thank you so much for joining the show, and all the very best. And this was Mr. B.K. Hariprasad talking to us in the Quest program. Hope you liked this edition of the Quest. Keep watching. Namaskar. Bye.